This is the plaintiff, Lucille McGilton. She says she hired the defendant to replace a broken window in her home, gave him money up front, and then the guy never showed up or even answered her calls. The scammer never had any intention of doing the work for her. He's totally trying to rip her off. And that's why she's dragging him into court today and suing him for the $1,000 she's owed. This is the defendant, Alan Peterson. He says the plaintiff asked him to help her out with a window replacement, gave him some money, which he used to order the window, and that's what he did. The plaintiff got very upset with him when the window arrived, and he told her she would have to wait a few weeks until he finished other jobs he was currently working on. The kook even put signs up in his neighborhood telling people he was a bad, bad man and not to hire him. Oh, her money, ha! He's accused of letting a lady down.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff hired the defendant to replace a window and says the guy took the money and ran. But the defendant says the plaintiff is impossible, even putting up signs saying he was a bad man. It's the case of All About Eves.
Lucille McGilton, you are suing Alan Peterson for $1,000, $300 of it, an amount you paid for him for a window that, according to you, you never got from him, and $700 that it's going to cost you now to install it. Talk to me. What happened here?
Well, it was way back in the beginning of the summertime. We spoke prior to me actually seeing Alan in June to give him a deposit.
How do you know Alan?
Alan lives in the same complex as I do. We live in the same complex together, but I do interior design by trade. So prior to this, I met Alan coming in and out of the businesses that I was in and known him as a contractor.
Okay.
And trusted Alan, I guess, good guy, stand-up guy.
Was this a window for your apartment?
It's a mobile home. It's a mobile home.
A mobile home park. Mm-hmm. And so is it for the mobile home?
Yes.
Okay. And so you see him and you ask him, I need a window. Mm-hmm. And he comes, he measures.
Yes.
Okay. And what happens?
Well, it took like a day after I had given him the deposit. He says, I'll be about $500 and about $250 for the window, something for the window. He was down. So I gave him the $300, asked him to just sign a little piece of paper I have if you need to see it. And probably a day later, he did come down and measure it. After about maybe a week or two, then he told me again he had to remeasure the window. So then I was on my way out when I saw him that Sunday. So I said, well, my son's back at the house if you want. My son was also with me when I gave him the money.
What the reason for the new window was decorative, or was there a problem?
It's cracked. It's cracked.
The window's cracked?
Yeah, I have pictures on my cell phone. I didn't have a chance to
that's all right.
get
Go
them
on.
big. And so he went down, remeasured it, but by that time there was about maybe 2.5, another 3 weeks that had gone by. And that just seemed to be the whole case of every time
When did you give him the $300? What day?
June 16th.
You don't deny that she gave you $300, right?
No, I didn't.
On June 16th? Okay, and then, what's the next thing that happens?
Letting a little time go by, till I'm like, oh, wait a minute, it's going on like 4 weeks now. Then, if I would see Alan going up or something, I'd be like, hey, what's going on? He'd be like, well, I'm just a little busy today, and, I'll come down, I'll get to it. And, it's like the whole summer. Then after probably about maybe 6-7 weeks, something like that, he had 2 jobs, thousands of dollars worth these jobs were, and he'd have to, I guess, put it off, or we're still saying that, the window is good and this and that. But
What?
That, everything was okay with the window. It was, I think at that point he said it was there. Or
the actual window, the order came in, but that he didn't have time to install it because he had these 2 other jobs? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. See, it was like a course of the whole summer, that I
so
kept
when
getting
did you finally say no
excuse. More? Well, it was September. Then my husband had spoken.
Wait, I was in June, and then I was 2 months later, June, July, August.
This actually.
So 3 months later, your husband what?
My husband actually went up to speak with him, and he said the same thing. The window was there, so I even said to him, "Well, Alan, at this point, can I have the window? Well, I owe another $50. Fine, no problem. Drop the window off on my deck, make sure I'm there. I will give you the 50. Just let me see the bill of sale for the window. Well, another week, another 2 weeks, nothing there. So at this point, I put a sign up. Yes, I did put a sign up. I won't deny that.
What'd you do? You put a sign up of what?
Little sign of stating these people here were thieves in my eyes. Warning, do not give this man money.
Where'd you put the sign up?
Right by the mailboxes.
Of the mobile park?
Yep.
Mobile home park.
Yep. And then I got a call from Alan. It's on my voicemail, stating you can do anything for me. You can say anything about me or that what he said, but don't do it about his business contractors.
What happened here?
Your Honor, a lot of it's correct. She did give me the $300.
In June, mid-June?
Dates, I'll be honest.
Oh, you're not a date guy?
I'm not a
Well,
date.
you know, when you contract with somebody to put a window in, you can't take 5 months.
Well, the agreement was, and that was verbal, there's no contract,
There's a verbal contract.
that I would put it in when we slowed down. I am
What if
not,
that's 3 years from now?
I'll be honest.
Yeah,
but
what the
summer
law
months are-
requires is a reasonable time. And it's
Okay.
not like she's antsy after 2 or 3 days, and I've had those cases, or antsy
Okay.
after 2 or 3 weeks. A woman was patient for like
But
4 months.
I did offer her the window, as you can see. It's not
She
that
says she wanted to, she says that you
She
offered,
told me-
just a second, let me ask you my questions. She says that you offered her the window at an additional $50, and she said, no problem, let me see the invoice. Do you have the invoice for me?
Yes, I do.
Let me see it. What did you pay for the window?
I paid $281.13, Your Honor.
Well, that's within the $300, and you're the one
Yes.
who's doing wrong by
And
her, so why would you
I-
charge her another $50?
I did not tell her another $300. The $550.
So then if she, wait, stop. If you didn't tell her another $50, why didn't you just bring the window you had to the lady who you didn't have time for? Why am I here? Why didn't you just bring her the window?
Okay, who's more difficult, customer or the contractor?
The contractor has to deal with the customer, so I'd say he's going to be going through more because you got to put up with a lot of crap with customers, and they're always right.
Well said. Going inside the courtroom.
2 different times, ma'am, that I was at the place, nobody was home. Second
Did you leave
of
a
all,
note?
I've never met her
Did you leave a
husband.
note?
No, I did not.
Did you call her?
I did call her one time, and that's when I ended up with the letter from small claims.
Nah,
At that
I'm talking
point-
about, wait a minute. I'm talking about before Job lost his patience. I'm talking about during the course of all those months. Did you ever say to her, how long did you have the window? When did the window come in?
October, I picked it up. It came in before, but I wasn't going to pick it up to have damage, because once I pick it up, it's...
On you. So October 16th, when did you file the lawsuit?
October, and it was in October.
Let me see your paperwork for the original lawsuit. Do you have that?
Yes.
What'd you end up doing with the window?
I don't have it.
No, I know it's right there. Is that it?
I'd imagine so. At this point, I wouldn't know because he measured twice.
So you'd be a little nervous about whether it would.
Exactly.
Your
You know,
Honor.
you filed on November 12th. That's the day that you paid the filing fee and filed. Interesting. Yes, sir.
The reason for measuring twice was because when I called it in and told them it was for a mobile home, they are not constructed like a house. So they told me that I had to get the depth, make sure, because of a mobile home.
Right. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Peterson. Someone hires you to do a job in June, July, August, September, October. 4 months later, you pick up the window, and you still don't have time for her. She's into November before she files. So in 5 months, you don't make the time to do the job that you were verbally contracted to do. Why on earth wouldn't you return the lady's $300?
Because I offered the window.
She doesn't want the window. She doesn't trust you. She doesn't think you're good at what you do, or she
What
doesn't
am I
think
to
you're
do with
careful.
the window?
That's kind of something you should have thought about before you took 5 months to do a job that you had agreed to do. You see? Why would you be entitled to something more than $300?
Because it's now wintertime. And in our area, I've spoke to 2 contractors. It's almost triple the amount of money.
Really? Because in your complaint you said double,
At
which
this
I also
point, I
found
don't trust any
laughable.
contractors,
And
to
why
be
don't-
honest with you.
So now what? So just, to punish him, you have this inflated,
No, I'm not
I mean, what
looking
you're
to punish.
entitled to is your money back and prejudgment statutory interest from the time that the money was accepted and the breach. and you're entitled to your court costs. That will make you whole. And then you've got to prove to me how it's going to cost you double to get somebody else to do it.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Well, not right now. I can't.
Well, right now is when we're having a trial.
I'm
So
sorry.
since you can't do that,
Okay.
what you're entitled to is your money back. I've ruled in your favor in the amount of $300 plus your court costs plus prejudgment statutory interest in your state from the date that you gave him the money. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And so the plaintiff gets her money back for the window, and you have just bought yourself a very nice window.
I'll put it in someplace, I guess. Unfortunately, it's made for a trailer, so. But if she wants it, she can have it.
You guys still live in the same
trailer
park, right?
yes.
And so do you see each other and
We pass.
around town?
We pass.
And what's life like when you see each other?
Nothing. She goes her way, I go my way.
You have any regrets the way you handled this situation here? Should
No,
you
I
put-
do not. I just won't help a friend again.
All right. Follow Officer McIntosh around the corner there. All right, so come on in here and tell me, satisfied with what you come out with here?
Yes,
Right.
definitely.
What are you going to do to get a window installed now?
I'm going to probably have to try tracking down a couple more contractors and then probably wait till the fall. The spring.
Is there cold air coming in there, or what? What's it like?
Yeah, there was a draft. It is cracked. We have a towel in there right now, but we're dealing with
What
it.
are you going to say when you see him around the old neighborhood?
How you doing? I don't hate him. I mean, he's a good guy, as far as I knew, but I'll probably just say hi to him.
Okay, Harvey.
If time matters to you when you make a contract, there are magic words. It's called time is of the essence. Write it in the contract. It matters.